Yo, what's up? What's up, B Culture? This is Ella, and we are streaming live because we got a hot topic about the latest release of Studio One. You know, I'm at a different place in my brain where I'm okay with what's happening. I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing what Fender is doing over there. It just really boils down to who these updates and the new changes are for. So I'm not in the place where I bash anything that they're doing. I still feel like Studio One is a solid DAW at the end of the day. I think I think they're great at what it does. Of course I'm saying that now because there wasn't really much done to Studio One, like in terms of like changes and whatnot as of yet. In fact, all of the changes that was made, I feel like they were enhancements. You know, it's okay. I think it's all right. They're working more towards the spatial audio and the surround sound. You know, okay, that's great. That's great. That's always a great thing. Because Dolby Atmos is here. It seems to be a hot thing that everybody's into now. Everybody's wearing AirPods right now, so spatial audio is definitely something. Just think about like movies that are produced now. Netflix. Now some of those people can use Studio One to produce those movies because Studio One is supporting that culture. And maybe I'm not in that area to know what people are talking about in terms of what they want to see, or they having issues, or they have to like substitute for something because it's not designed to work the way that they need to for certain movies or workflow or whatever. Maybe Fender has their ear on that, and which is why they really going in on making that available. Or maybe they're just trying to play catch up with what Pro Tools already have, what Logic already has. Maybe that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? What's up, 803? What's up, bro? You said you liking number one. All you like. Two Nickels, what's up? What up? What's happening, man? AI shy. It's not for the masses. Correct. Correct. So that's where I am. I'm reporting to you guys. I'm kind of the medium. I'm in the middle, or the mediator, or the moderator, so to speak. I'm just the host. I'm just standing in the gap, convening, and I'm leaning on both sides because I feel like both sides has a point. Ultimately, like I said, I feel like Studio One is decent for what it's capable of doing, but then on the other side, they are lacking some of the core functions of what people are able to do in other platforms. You know what I'm saying? And then another conversation or another point to that is that, like, why make the DAW do exactly what everybody else is doing? Because then it would just be another DAW that's doing the same thing. There needs to be differentiation between, right? That's a great point. That's a great point. But the thing is, I think what Persona's been doing for many years, and I've noticed it, is they would add stuff inside of Studio One to gravitate towards those people that are working in other platforms, which is why we got a lot of things that Pro Tools is doing, and they implemented those features inside of Studio One to become attractive to those users, because Studio One ultimately I feel like every dog company wants everybody to use their stuff. That's kind of bottom line. So how do you move? What moves do you make? What design choices do you make? What features do you add? What makes sense? And then you got to play with capital. How much capital do you have to make this happen? What who do you reach out to make this happen? What resources do you have to make these things happen? And so, with that being said, I think it is the reason why subscription models exist, so they can continue developing their platform. I'm thinking. But you know what? Here's another point that I have. For so many years, I've been like, what's up? Like, I've been complaining about different things that I feel like Studio One needs. But after a while, I kind of got complacent. I was like, you know what? That's cool. And you know why? It's because I've been moving around. I've been using other dolls. So it's like, I haven't really been saying much in terms of how I used to complain, because I'm in Ableton, I'm in Bitwig. And it's like, okay, if I can't get what I need over here, I'm going to just go over here. You know what I mean? But the whole concept is that you want your DAW. I still come back to Studio One because I feel like it's a powerful DAW. There's a lot of things in it that I love about Studio One, which is why I continue to use it. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, I'm always going to feel like Studio One is a strong platform, but it's just a few more things. And you know, the crazy thing about it is that they got the resources. I feel, well, now they do. Fender has the capital. Did y'all see what's going on? It's like they're really trying to get their return on investments for real, for real. You know, as y'all can see with the new subscription models that they're going ham in. I feel like they're serious about this. Yeah, they're not going to give you everything up front. You gotta pay certain things. The other point, stuff just hit me. The other point is, and I'm not on Fender's side. I'm not trying to. I'm not standing on them side. On, you know, like standing with them as to like forgetting about you guys, because I'm a part of you. I'm a part of y'all. You know. So what I'm saying is, I think they're playing catch up. Maybe right now is the best time to do that than later. Um, if you think about Ableton and all these other platforms, they all have like these models, subscription models, where, like for instance, Ableton has a light version, and you are limited to a very small amount of things you're able to do, and then you go into the standard. Most people are content with the standard, you know, because it does mostly what most people will use Ableton for. Then you go to the ultimate, which is the top tier for those who need that extra functionality, you know, with the Max for Live, you know, type thing, and or whatever else that only comes in that tier, that top tier model. Studio One is doing the same thing. So it's like, I can't really be upset about what they're doing because everybody else is doing it. So it's like, it is what it is. I say probably the only ones that are not doing this subscription is Logic Pro, and I would say FL Studio, but they have like a whole market. They just doing things differently, I think. Like you still can buy the perpetual, but there's like you still have to buy into their platform if you want more stuff. Reason is doing the same thing with the subscription. And I'm just going off the top of my head. I haven't visited any of these sites in a while, but it's like the same concept that's happening. All right. What's up, Ron? What's happening? The Reaper is here. Starting out to trust the Studio One. I'm not buying into that subscription stuff. All those add up. Why renew? And there's a point. See, and this is where I was step on the other side. This is because I understand what you guys are saying. I feel you. Because a lot of people, while there's companies that's doing the subscriptions, there are people who don't want to do that, and so they search for platforms that are not doing that. And for a minute, Studio One was not doing that. It was just buy in, own the perpetual license to your program, and that was it. And then when they come out with an update, all of the updates, by the way, in between like full upgrades, they were free, or there still is free, according to my knowledge. But it's weird because on the site, it actually lists the updates that's included in each section or each upgrade, which is really, really weird. Why did they point that out? They said, I think it was in the hybrid, that they say if you or what's the perpetual? I gotta go to the site and see what it said. But one of those, it said 6 updates included. I was like, really? Why would you point that out? 6 updates. So that tells me that each version or each upgrade will be only 6 updates in that, and then get ready to go to the next upgrade. So with that being said, we're at 6.6 right now. Technically, Studio One 6 is fresh. We just came with 6, and now we're at the 6th update. So is 7 coming pretty soon? Like within 6 months, or maybe like the end of the year, we're gonna be at 7. I have questions about that. If so, things are really, really wrapping up, and things are going crazy. Things are changing, and I'm not really sure what the end result is. Like where we're going. Um, I'm just here for the ride, and I will be y'all's pilot. I'm going to hop on the mic and share the updates of what's happening. But um, some people are vexed. The Reaper said he's vexed. Same, I use MPC Studio One is like my dog. Playing catch up to what Studio One is leading. Hey man, I don't remember if it was you that mentioned Cakewalk. What's up, really though? So AI shine or IA shine. It, well, it your perspective. It just depends on. It depends on your perspective. You say, why is everybody complaining now? It, um, I don't think that's the case. A lot of us been complaining for years. Like myself, I've been complaining about a lot of stuff. Um, I don't know how long you've been following the channel, but you will catch me mentioning things and being upset and just different things happening over time that I feel like needs to change, can change, should change. And we get that. Could we do this differently? Like I've always been complaining, and I watch several other people say some of the same things and mention some other things based on their experience and their needs for what they're trying to do. So the complaining is not new. I think it's more prevalent now because now we have a target more so and a common target. So the hype might be a little bit more aggressive right now, and you're probably starting to see more and more people talk about how specifically the new instrument. The new instrument is probably the biggest talk right now because for one, Personas has never released an instrument since I don't know when I got on board, which was 3.0, or the end of 2.0. Matai, Presence. I really never used Mojave, but those two, in terms of like playability, has been the only instruments in there ever since. We're only now seeing it all the way in 6, a new instrument. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a big deal. And so because it's a big deal, everybody's like, whoa, what is this new instrument? Because everybody is excited because we ain't seen nothing. When I get on these videos, I'm always talking about new instruments. You know what I mean? And it's third party stuff because it ain't by Studio One, right? So now we have a new instrument. Well, guess what? Everybody can't get that instrument. That's the part. And a lot of people are really upset. So you will hear people that probably never made a mention, probably never said nothing, but probably in their circle, in the confines of their own space, just been dealing with whatever other issues, but you're gonna put out a new instruments and not include everybody. That is what the more of the hype of that scenario is catching the internet right now. That is why you hear or see. So people been complaining for years. But I'm just, this is nothing new. It is nothing new, trust me. B Park is in the building. So you glad I'm on top of this, man. I'm here with you guys. I'm here with you guys. I wouldn't mind if we got the updates in 7.0 and they let us perpetuals wait it out in the mid update. We will still pay for the update and we really want it to early on time. 803, thanks for that, man. Those of you that are watching, make sure you hit the like button. We got 14 people here and we only have 6 likes. Y'all hit that like button and subscribe. You have to be subscribed in order to make a comment anyway. Go ahead. We'll love to have you in the comment section. All the new people, we would love to have you. 46 kilohertz is in the building. Says, I just want a BPM detector in the DAW. That's not a bad ask. I I've heard that several times. To be honest with you, I heard that several times. I'm always working with people who wants to know what the BPM of something. I have a technique, so that has never been a complaint of mine's. Again, that goes with like it just depends on who people are. Different people have different complaints about different things according to their workflow. I have never had a problem with finding the BPM of something because my technique is a little bit different than finding the BPM. I've started in this music industry before beat detect was a thing. It was like Pro Tools. I started with Pro Tools, and I'm not really sure if there was a beat detect in there, and then went to Logic. At that time, there wasn't no beat detect nothing in there, but maybe some other dolls were maybe had that. But I mean, now I think it's something I've seen it. I've seen it happen in some dolls like Cubase. I think there's a beat detection in there. Um, but then you got like um. Okay, I will say this. I don't know if I should say that because I think it just depends on what information is in the WAV file. But the batch converter, Studio One has this thing called batch converter. That thing can detect stuff. So Studio One can detect too. But again, the metadata has to be in the WAV file. Like when you bring a file in in the information section, it will tell you the BPM of that file. But like you say, you probably want like a plug-in or something that just say, hey, this is 70 BPMs. That probably be more of what we're looking for, right? I think that's what you're saying. But it is. But the thing is, if the BPM is not written in the metadata of the WAV file, you won't get that. But I would imagine programs like Serato can detect anything at all times, no matter what. No matter what file, because it's essentially a DJ, you know, companion. You know what I mean? And I feel like their algorithm is a whole lot stronger. It can do stuff like that. And I'm gonna be frank. I have not still to this right now. I have not had a chance to get my hands on Serato. I should have had it by now, but I still have not gained access to that program. But I hear so much about it. All my friends got it. Everybody has it. I watch videos on it. I just never. I don't know why. I just never. Don't judge me. I just never went after it. I'm not sure why. I'm really not sure. Of all people, I should have it, right? Um, it's crazy. You said it feel like they about to drop seven. Really? I just feel like six just came out yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like 6.0 just came out. Or is time going real slow for me? I feel like they just like, are we ready for seven? Seven is already here. But when they put it in the thing on the site includes six updates, then that's like, okay, now we know what's next. Well, maybe that's the transparency right there, right? Maybe. And ain't that what we've been asking for? Transparency. Maybe that's them being transparent. Okay, here's the first one. You there will be six. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen a point seven. a point 0.8, a point 0.9. I don't think I've ever seen anything past 0.6. So maybe it has always been 6 updates. I have not paid attention. I have not been counting. But now that I think about it, we ain't never seen no 5.7. You know what I'm saying? Have y'all seen a 4.7? It was always 6, 0.6, and then boom. But over time, before Fender came, there was always like maybe the point 1, point 2, point 3. Whenever you see a point like that, the updates were like prevalent. But we've gotten like how do you say that? The second point within that point, it'll be like 5.1.3. You know what I mean? Like after the point. Well, I've seen several of those, so it feels like there's been more than 6 updates. You know what I mean? It's just been like the in between points. That's what we call it, between point. So technically, if we count those as been more than 6. That's why I was like, okay, or maybe that's why it took them so long to come out with 6.6, because what we were used to, we was getting frequent updates back in the day. When Fender took over, the updates slowed down tremendously. They're not coming frequently, so it's almost like they're being strategic. If there is a between point, then it's a bug fix, and it hasn't been any of those. I don't know. B Park. I recommend mixing key live guys. That's what he recommended for the BPM. Finding the BPM. B Park also feels like 7 will drop in a few months. Just feeling like I would. Yeah. So there's a couple of you guys feeling like 7 is around the corner. And I want to agree. I guess I will agree with that, because the website says 6 updates, and this is 6.6. So that means this is the last update in 6, which means, by the way, alongside of these new updates with the subscription, like, we can't get to the instrument unless we update the subscription, and then 7 come out, and then now people have to re-up on more money. How about this, guys? And I'm just thinking, okay, so when 7.0 comes out, that's going to be the grand finale. What I mean by that is we're going to really, really dive in to what 7 is. And this is what's going to tell us what Fender got up their sleeve, because that's the big update. If we don't see a lot of the things we've been asking for a very long time in 7, I think that is where there will be a major shift in the usership or the membership of Studio One. I feel like a lot of people is going to drop Studio One. So I don't know if Fender or Personas or whoever is watching, there's a lot of people who is upset about this update. So now we have more clarity on what is what. Okay, so 7.0 is coming next. if 7.0 is not producing what we've been asking for, man, I don't know how strong personas their future. I don't know how bright their future will look for us users, especially me. I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm not really sure. Taxi, what up? Yeah, everybody chime in. Let's have a conversation. That's what we doing. Only say that due to this new change in their payment structure and how sales have been, says B Park. I want to welcome everybody to the stream. My name is Ella. This is the B culture. This is the culture that is. This channel is made specifically for you guys. All I do is come on and show tips, tricks, my workflow. I hope that I can inspire everybody to dive deeper, go after things they never went after, creating beats, being creative, being inspired, doing something new. That's what my channel's about. And a lot of my live streams are just going from scratch a lot of times, which is why they're long, because I'm taking y'all through the process. You get to see what I'm pulling for, what I reach for. A lot of times the beats evolve over time. I'll start out with one concept, and then over time, a couple hours later, the beat then changed. That's just how it goes. That's how my production goes. When I'm into something and I start getting the vibe, and then as I've grabbed towards effects and things like that, who knows? I like to be very open, but just being freely about my beats. I'm not one that's stuck on a certain way that I do things. Obviously, you can't be that way when you're working in 3 different DAWs. You know what I mean? And they all created differently. So you got to be open to the possibility of how something works in a total different RAM, total different world. So that's what this channel is about. So I hope that you guys subscribe, because that's what this channel is about, and hit that like button. Hit the likes. I appreciate it. We got 15 people watching, only 9 likes. I only see 9. It might be more. Hit the like button. Hit the like. Pound that like button. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. We also on Discord. We have these conversations on Discord a lot of times. Some of the guys have questions about things, and whoever is going to answer, if you know the answer, that you will get the answer. So there's been countless of people that's been helped within the community. Absolutely. The link is in the description of this video. If you want to join the Discord, it's free. Okay, actually, I didn't put the link in the description. That is my bad. I'm going to fix that. We got to fix that problem. But in the meantime, I'll just type it in the comment section. I'll let somebody beat me to it. All right, so that's the link to the Discord in case you guys want to join. It's creative.art/Discord if you want to If you guys want to join the platform, you know, you want a community to be a part of beyond YouTube, talking with live people. I chime in there from time to time. You know what I'm saying? We have voice sessions in there sometimes. Some of the guys will show their screen, show what they're working on, or just be like random topics that we have, just random, you know. So definitely a community. We care about each other. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that going on in there. We treat everybody like brothers and sisters. It's like a different level. It's a higher level of community, brotherhood, sisterhood. You know, those are the vibes in the Discord. We challenge each other to be better. You know, that type of thing. Encouragement has always happened. You know, just real stuff. Sometimes we have moments where we post coffee pictures. You know, who's drinking coffee right now? You know what I mean? We just post it right in the group. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Oh, y'all looking to have a discussion tonight, huh? I see. I see what's happening. He said 7 has to. I'm gonna throw this on the screen. 7 has to give us something to smile about, then spoofing us as an update after that. That's my 2 cents. Absolutely. Absolutely. 7 has to be beast mode, bro. 7 has to be beast mode. There are some people that use Studio One that feels like Studio One has everything it needs. Why are y'all complaining? That's a good point. And I want those people to remember that everybody is different. What you use Studio One for, you might be totally content. Great. But your workflow is different from mine's or anybody else that may have any complaints. Sometimes when I see people complain about things, and I'm gonna tell you how I respond to those. When I see people complain about something that I feel like they shouldn't be complaining about, and I'm just being 100. When I see that, I don't say nothing. I just walk right past. Like, wow, okay. Because I do get it though. At the end of the day, people be wanting some stuff that's just like you got to be kidding me. You really think that they're gonna go and like you know what I'm saying? Like people do sometimes ask for some ridiculous things, but I ignore it. I don't go and chime in and tell him like, hey man, tell him how he should ask for something or how he should want something or how you should substitute and do this instead. No, everybody's different. Everybody's allowed to have a voice, an opinion. Everybody, you can say what you need, you know? Because sometimes some people are able to come in and be like, yeah, bro, you got to do this. You got to do that. You got to look for this because you probably don't have yours set up this way or you probably didn't know that Student One can already do that. And, for that reason, if you're one of those people, then, okay, I feel like that's really cool. Hence the community. Having a community that knows stuff like that is definitely dope. But it's usually people that's like in a different field, like people that's using Studio One as a hobby and make a beat here and there and use stock stuff. And when they see people like us complain about the sampler being an advanced sampler and come on and be like, the sample is perfect the way it is. Shut up. Just shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't even know Like I get frustrated with people like that. Like when you come in and you say something like that, especially when there's like a bunch of people who's complaining about the same thing, and then just one dude walk in and say something crazy or insensitive like that. Like, bruh, you don't even know. First of all, what do you do? What type of music you make? You know, what revenue do you inquire from from your music? Like, if you're not a professional, first of all, if you're not a professional, you have okay, if you're a user of Studio One, you have a voice. Granted. But if you're not a professional user, meaning like you make money, then you have no right to chime in on these type of conversations. That's all I'm saying. And people be coming in capping all day, bro. Like, what? Stop. Just don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Like one time I went into a group on Facebook and I was just talking about how the MIDI capture is not on point. Like, I was wondering if somebody can, or just kind of like my hopes was that somebody from Personas can address what I'm saying. Somebody came in and tried to tell me, you just decrease your buffer size. Bruh, you know how stupid you sound? No, bro. It's like sometimes just don't be so quick to answer, because you got to do research on who you responding to. And I think that might be the other thing too. Like, don't respond, and I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes I'll say things and don't do research, but based on somebody's reaction, their response after that tells me like, oh, he knows a little bit more than. But sometimes, a lot of times, I'm able to gauge the, like, I'm able to figure out the question, like the type of question you're asking based on how you ask it. Based on how you ask the question, I know a lot of times, like, yeah, this dude is advanced. He's asking for something simple, but the way he set it up, he's advanced. He knows why he's asking for this. And then it's like, I'm not gonna come at an aggressive angle. I'm gonna just see how I can be helpful. You know what I mean? That's how I do things. But someone told me to decrease my buffer size. Although that is a valid answer, it only works for amateurs. But when you are a professional, decreasing your buffer size in production is not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Maybe if your computer is not strong enough, then yeah, decrease your buffer size. But see, now you have to bounce down each and everything you do, which is why the bounce in place feature is dope in Studio One. You know what I mean? For that reason, bounce. I do it all the time. Bounce in place in order to use more instruments. Then it makes sense. But my computer is powerful enough to have several instruments going at the same time. And if the MIDI, you can't tell me the MIDI or decreasing my block size or my buffer size. You can't tell me that decreasing that is going to help my MIDI. Yeah, it would, but my instruments is going to suffer. That's the thing. See how I did that? It's like people just be talking and they don't really know what they're talking about. Now, when you're recording, that's different. When you're recording vocal or whatnot, yeah, you always decrease your block size. Always decrease it. Of course. B Park, you say you Google Persona's revenue, 50 mil in 2022, 60 mil in 2023. Okay. But you got to be specific though. You got to know what those numbers equates to. You got to be able to define, like, and granted, there are small. Let me see. 2022, is that when? I don't remember when Fender acquired. It's 2024. Yeah, it's probably like a couple of years. Yeah, it's like a couple of years. But what I'm saying is, you gotta make sure to like break down where this 50 and 60 mil is coming from. Is it coming from their hardware stuff? Because Personas has a lot of hardware gear. Is that revenue coming in from Studio One? That's a whole different department right there. And then number two, what does that mean? What does that budget used towards? Is it used towards developing more hardware, or is it used towards? I feel like now there is a bigger budget behind Studio One, which is why we seeing these, and they're definitely trying to get a return on their investments. By spending a little bit more time on these subscription models. I'm not a fan of them, and I'm not a fan of it at all. But it is most of these companies' way of trying to stay on top of the revenue, bringing in more revenue. Now, take this or leave it, but I feel like, I don't know. We need to really dive into what FL Studio is doing. How is they able to like be able to sell you the perpetual license of their programming and not put their program on a subscription model like most of these other companies? You know what I'm saying? They just not into that, or at least not right now. They've been holding out for a long time. I'll say that. Everybody else is subscription, and FL Studio is the only one that's not engaging in it. Or Reaper. Reaper is another one. You know, maybe because of the team. The team is super small, and they're not really doing a lot outside of the software. You know what I'm saying? Um, Fender's team is bigger. You know, the Personas team was small, and you know, they did what they could, I guess. Fender coming in with their people on top of Personas, you know, they obviously have a budget, and they're about making this money. So the polyphony is trash when you turn on the follow tempo in sample one. That's one thing they need to fix. Or the polyphony. That's what you're saying, the polyphony. Yeah, man, it's a lot of problems with sample one. It's not advanced. It's simple. So it's gonna do basic simple stuff. Like for instance, the sample engines that is available currently when warping a sample, stretching it, that type of thing. It's like 3 engines. I think Ableton is sitting at 7 or 8 different engines. Bitwig is the same. Bitwig is sitting pretty high up there. The numbers are pretty high. Cause you got raw form, and we talking about the different engines that you could switch between to change the tone and how a sample is, like how it reacts. You got what's it? Elastic. I'm reading Bitwig's thing in my head. You got the elastic, and you got like the regular elastic. I mean, the eco version of it. And then you got the pro version, and then you got sample, or what you call it? Cycle, something like that. I can't remember all of the different names that they have. But they all, like, there are different engines that you can go from one to the next, and it makes your sample, your wave or whatever, reacts different. You know, Studio One does not have that capability. It's very simple, and there's only like 3 of them. That's it. I think it's drum, and then resample, and then the other one is I forget. And that's it. That's it. Said lower your buffer has nothing to do with that. Hopefully he learned about him. Yeah. I kind of get what he meant when he said lower your buffer size, because when I did that, it does make the MIDI capture a whole lot better. It's like it's Studio One reacts different. But see, here's the problem. And I agree with you. Lowering the buffer has nothing to do, because why do I have to do that when anytime I'm in Ableton, Bitwig, Machine, Logic, anytime I'm in any of those programs that I have currently on my system, when I'm working with MIDI, like recording my sounds and whatever, all those other programs receives my MIDI information as I'm programming them perfectly every time. There may be, the typical thing where, like, when you at the end cycle of something before it loops back to the first bar, a lot of times the one, whatever you put in that number one, may not catch. That's typical. Like, that's just been what it is from day one. But Studio One is the only one that's not doing that, like not being a little bit more, like maybe they need to change the sensitivity. It's like it's too harsh. The way it receives MIDI from your keyboard is too harsh. Like, soften it up a little bit, make it less attack. So that whatever I put in there, it receives it correctly, like exactly the way I input it. That's what we're looking for. And then the input quantize, maybe change that a little bit too, because the input quantize is too aggressive. It's too, it's interesting though. Like, as soon as your note is like probably like 2 ticks off of the first, just imagine your note really close to the bar 1, for instance. Really close to bar 1. Say like you got 5 different lines in between before it hits 2. And I'm going to be exaggerating, but this is kind of how I feel. Just imagine bar 1, bar 2, right? There's 4 different lines, or 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So 3 different lines in between. Bar one, this is the first line that's in between. If your MIDI note end up right up in here, I feel like Studio One is going to take that and move it all the way to two. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm using that exaggeration because I feel like that, because that note is not all the way up on one, it's going in between one and the very first line, which will probably be point one, no, point two. One, point two, point three, point four, and then two. You see what I'm saying? Like different bars in between. One, two, three, four, two, two, three, four, three. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm going with that. So 4 different ticks in between. We have all this other space. You know, it didn't land on point two, point three, it didn't land on point three or point four, right? So if it leans more towards point four, it makes sense that if I quantize it, it will hit two. But I'm talking about like right here, all the way in the middle, like all the way in the first half. Once you quantize it, boom, it get pushed. Now, again, I'm exaggerating, but that's what I mean by how the MIDI works in Studio One. Like in a lot of cases, it feels like it does that. Like, really? Are you serious? If I'm extreme on like my MIDI, my resolution, then that makes sense. But a lot of times I leave it in 16s or 1/8 anyway. That's what I'm saying. Jack Fisher, what up? I've been I got your comment too, niggas, about the t-shirt. Yeah, man. You know, I be having my eye on stuff like this, bro. Appreciate that. Compliment on the t-shirt. I'll be making stuff like this myself too. I didn't make this one, but okay. I've been a Personas user for many years, and I must say that their DAW is full of features. The software and hardware isn't perfect, and so I have to warn you all before you go in and buy a bunch of stuff. So, what are you warning us about? I just want more clarity, and I'm saying that because I think you came in kind of late on this conversation. But if I was to respond to this, Studio One Live 16R, good mixer, terrible audio interface, and the price is very expensive. But the issue is, will it ever be fixed? Personas just don't care. Well, I'll respond to that one. I don't know if it's they don't care. I don't think they had the budget at that time to. Maybe what Fender is doing is coming in and they cleaning it up. They're cleaning up everything. Maybe that's what they're doing. And with that being said, if you got a complaint, are you complaining? Are you making, filling out tickets with them? Because right now I'm giving them a benefit of a doubt. You know what I'm saying? Because I get it. I've worked with several companies. My thing is, if they're transparent about a lot of things, then it works. People like transparency. We're in an age right now where transparency is everything, bro. Like, the days where you keep stuff from the itch user, those days are long gone. You try to be professional and look a certain way, man, nobody care about that. People have way more respect for you when you're transparent, when you keep it real. I'm gonna share this with y'all. So I have this car wash membership subscription that I pay for each month to just go and get unlimited car washes whenever I need to. You know, the weather out here in Texas is crazy. It's bipolar. Some days it's raining, some days it's windy, Some days, whatever. And you got birds out here that these birds are just some of the most disrespectful pieces of crap out here I've ever seen. Just go out there. You just got your car washed. Then you bird shit all on your windshield. Like, really, bruh? And you don't want to put the windshield on that because all that's going to do is just smear it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, really? I can't roll around with bird poop on my ride. You know what I mean? That's just, that's gross, man. That's really gross. Birds have no respect for my vehicle. Like, really? That's my vehicle you shitting on. Like, come on. Really? Come on. We But anyway, I have a membership because of that. Just to keep my joint looking nice when I'm rolling. That's how, like my stuff nice. So I recently upgraded because there was a promotion. I was paying a price for a promotion a year ago that was available at that time, and they recently came out with a promotion to get their top tier at the same price. And I'm like, bet I'm gonna go and I'm gonna switch I'm not gonna pay anything more just to get the same stuff. So I'm like, all right, bet. Then I got that updated and whatever. Then next time I went and got my car wash, I'm like, I went through the deal and I ain't see none of the stuff that was available happening while I was getting my car wash. It was like a basic wash. I'm looking for the foams and all the shine and all the other stuff that, you know what I'm saying, they promise in this package. I ain't see none of that. So then, I go through that. Now my car is clean, but I am paying to get the wax and all the, tire shine and that type of stuff. So I, got out the car, went and spoke to someone inside the dealership. I mean, not the dealership, but inside the office. And dude, just look, I'm gonna be transparent with you. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. He's like, sometimes when you come here and you go through the deal, things get off sync. So sometimes what people are paying premium for, the next person behind them to get it, and they might get the basic, or vice versa. So, and then he gave me a tip on what to look for. When you go through and you roll over this little deal, it's like a sensor. You make sure that it says the premium one before you go through. And if you don't see it, just let them know before you go through the wash that you are a premium member. So they can go ahead and swiftly change that before you go through the deal. But I respected him for telling me, giving me transparent information. I was like, you know what? I can respect that. And I will continue my membership here because you was transparent and you showed me a fix. There's another car wash place down the street. I was so tempted to go there because there was another situation where this current place I went to, it was one day where the wind picked up really nicely out here. Everybody car in most nearby complex, everybody car was filthy. So after work, that line was wrapped around the block like serious. Meaning like you need to have some snacks in your vehicle, pull up Netflix, because that's going to be a minute. Watch some Netflix in the car while you know what I mean? That was a long line. And just imagine the craziness that, man. So because it was so busy, one of their lines or their chains broke and they had to turn everybody around. So they came out, was like, hey, we sorry guys, we have to shut it down. One of the chains broke. So I went and paid $10 around the corner to get my car washed. And they were trying to get me too. It's like, hey man, you pay like a couple more bucks, you can get everything, a membership. And I'm like, well, I'm only here because the one I usually go to, the one I'm paying for a membership, their deal broke or whatever today. I'm already paying to, be across the street. So he's like, well, our chain never breaks. That was a good selling point. Our chain never, just come over here. Our chain never breaks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll keep that in mind. I didn't upgrade just because he told me to. I'm like, well, Let me think about that. Because if I was to continue to experience issues across the street, then I would have moved. But I stayed put. You know what I mean? I paid my $10, went through, got my car clean, went about my business. All right, end of the day, no biggie. You know what I mean? I spent the extra money to get my car clean because I didn't have membership with them. Whatever. My car was very filthy. I was just happy that it got clean, so I didn't really care about all of the whatever. Then when that issue happened, where when I upgraded my thing, I'm still thinking. You know what I mean? I ain't thinking to move, but I'm just saying, because the guy was transparent, that earned my respect for him and that whole, the lot, the company. It's like, you know what? I dig that. Because he could have sold me some bullshit on or he could have just left that piece of information out and I would have been pissed. Like, while I'm going through here, sometimes I'm getting, the foam and the wheel shine, and sometimes I don't. What's up with that? I'm paying for it. Like, what's good? That conversation was gonna come out sooner or later, but he was 100 with me. So I'm just sharing with you guys, like, if Personas, Fender, or whoever, if they can just start coming out and just being 100 and transparent, and let's see your face more. You know what I mean? I think that's the other thing. Like, we want to hear from y'all. Gregor and the other guy, they just picked Studio One apart and just be like doing videos. Like, okay, this is how you hit the record button. 5 ways you can hit the record button. Dude, we want to know. We want to know when y'all gonna update Impact in sample one. That's what we want to know. What are the plans for that? What are we looking at? What are y'all planning on doing? And like, if y'all let us in, that will just, I feel like that's something, that's an element that will be very respected, and that will keep users in place. Because I promise you, I'm telling you, if 7.0 come out and they have not implemented any of that, I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay. MVP loops. If you don't know how to deal with the problem, it won't install or activate the Studio One Personas one. MVP loops. Oh my gosh. You use MVP loops. MVP loops. MVP loops. Oh my gosh. They got some decent sounds in there. I just don't use their stuff. MVP loops, their stuff tends to lean more towards the outdated sound for me. Like I say, they got some pretty cool stuff I can use from time to time, but it's like the 90s. They have a lot of 90s type, which is great if you're working on stuff like that. So I can't be mad about that. You said Fender did you great on your Quantum 2626. Won't go into detail here about it, but Fender looked out for me so they could be revamping it to make it better. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been looking at, and I'm disappointed in what I'm looking at because it's getting me hyped for no reason. I'm looking at Cakewalk Sonar. I know that BandLab is revamping, or is it Ben? I don't know, but I know that Cakewalk is getting a revamp. It was Sonar by Bandlab, like the naming. I think they just changed their branding and they're doing something different. I'm hoping that there will be a Mac version released. Because I was looking at that thing, looking at some videos. I'm like, man, that is so dope. You know, so they're changing up some things, and they have this one deal. I think it's called, I forgot what it was. Cakewalk Next. That's on my system. I have Cakewalk Next, and it actually works on Macs. So that's what's, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe they will make Sonar, the full version of it, available for Macs. If they do that, it's a wrap, bro. But I don't want to go get no Windows computer. I'm not a Windows person. I hate Windows. But if I can get Cakewalk, bro, game over. Game over. Or maybe not, because I haven't worked in it. But based on what I saw, that thing is nuts. Man, I seen this one dude talking about, and he was able to get on his Mac, but obviously he had to get um it some type of boot. Damn, I forget what you call it. But basically, you can put Windows on Mac. I've done that before. You put Windows on Mac, so your Mac can actually turn over. You can switch it to run Windows and do stuff from Windows on your Mac, right? So that was how he was able to get Cakewalk on his Mac to be able to do that. I'm not doing it. I've already, because you gotta portion out, dedicate half your storage to. No, I'm good. I don't like Windows like that much to yeah, I'm just not doing that. But I was checking him out and I saw what he was doing and I seen some other videos. I'm like, man, this guy was telling me that, bro, this is like Ableton, Logic Pro, Cubase. I think he may have said Studio One, FL Studio, all in one. I was like, really? I was on the sideline like, dang, seriously? That's amazing. So I'm like, man, okay. I've reached out to BandLab. I talked to their person and I asked if they would ever, consider. This was like a few years back, kind of like a year after they inquired Cakewalk. Cause I just think they're doing. There's like there's a whole nother vibe over there. Like just it's totally different with the website and how it works, and dude, it's like a village, man. They on and popping over there. I want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? I asked them if they would ever make a Mac version. It was like, no, we don't have any plans to make anything for Mac. I was like, okay, all right, well, I couldn't get salty about it because Logic is not for Windows. So Cakewalk is obviously, doing the same thing. It's like a smack in the face. So But they're changing things up. So like this thing called Cakewalk Next, that's supposed to be like a new thing that they're doing. It's like a simpler, I don't know. It's kind of like the vibe of what you could do online, like their deal online. Um, they're rebranding Cakewalk. They're calling it Cakewalk Sonar. I think that's what they're going with that. And so I just, man, if they put that on the Mac, man. Anyway, what's up? What's up with everybody? Who's here? Roll call. We gotta do. We gotta check the attendance. I see 803 is still here. Jack Fisher, are you still here? Everybody just type here in the comments. Who's here? Let's see. Who's all here? I need to see who's here. Got 7 people watching. What's up? What's up? What's up? Can I get the thumbs up? Some thumbs up on this joint. The Reaper's in the building. Cakewalk Sonar is back. What it was. Right. I kind of felt like that was like they going back to what it was originally named. That's dope. So let me ask you this. Was there ever a version available for Mac? I feel like there was. Scrub Beats is in the building. What's up? When I saw that, one of the guys in here was like, "Yeah, check them out." I went and I started looking at them like, "Oh, okay." So I'm thinking BandLab sold it to somebody else again, or Cakewalk is back in business. I don't know. I was like, wait. I feel like I feel like Cakewalk Sonar was the name before, but when BandLab bought it, it was Sonar by BandLab. I think they renamed it. That's what it was named. No, I'm not thinking Logic when they had a Windows version. No, I'm not thinking that. I know Logic had a Windows version, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm asking is, was Sonar ever available on Mac, or was they always a Windows thing? But Sonar is like one of the oldest dogs, one of the oldest, and I feel like they don't get enough respect. I really don't. It's like all these other dolls that are like the hot topic, Cakewalk, Sonar. But you know, Sonar was prevalent around the time social media wasn't hot, as it is now. You know what I mean? You don't hear many people talking about Sonar. It just sounds like an old name, like what is that? But I just feel like if there was a Mac version and I like the program, dude, I can make that thing go viral. I got a lot of confidence, don't I? Maybe I can reach out to BandLab and just see what their plans are, and I'll report back. But I'm really, oh man, the whole BandLab, they doing something right. That whole platform is just dope to me. Oh, you know what? There is something for Mac. Okay, so but it's not a native thing. Okay, I was reading something. I forgot. I was reading something the other day about how they have um it's like a prototype of sonar that they have. But somebody had to do like there had to be another platform that you download as well. Code Weavers, if I'm not mistaken, we collaborated with a company called Code Weavers. They have a technology called Crossover that is basically a Windows to Mac translator, allowing native Windows application to run on Mac. Man, I hope this is not the boot camp thing, like where you gotta like hit a series of buttons before, like to select Mac to Windows. Man, like please don't tell me that that's what they doing, man, because I'll be so disappointed. Because I don't want to do that crossover. Okay, I gotta look at this video. Crossover. Like, what is this?
Linux users can be a little more demanding than Mac and Chrome. Let's get started. So first things first, we're going to do this demo using Ubuntu or Ubuntu or whatever you geeks want to argue about in the chat box. It's a popular version of Linux that many beginners use. So simply visit the CodeWeavers homepage and click on the crossover link in the main menu, and then choose the Linux option. Then type in your name and email, and then click download. So once the download is complete, double-click the deb file to open the Ubuntu software. Click on install, enter your password, and soon it'll be ready to run. And that's about it. Easy, huh? How do you think that went, Robin? Is anyone even still listening? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm excited, Robin. Today we get to interview candidates to join our crossover team.
Yes. Our crusade to make Windows software work on any system requires talented freedom fighters.
You mean developers, right?
Of course.
Managed WordPress hosting by Hostinger. Here are 3 super features to improve.
I'm excited, Robin. Today we get to interview candidates to join our crossover team.
Yes. Our crusade to make Windows software work on any system requires talented freedom fighters.
This is
You
interesting.
mean developers, right?
I like it.
Freedom
There's entertainment here, you know.
Does the word crossover mean anything to you?
I think it's a type of car. But I still prefer my trusty old Plymouth Barracuda.
Oh, wow, a CUDA, huh?
I was young once.
I see.
I think that's a type of Ethernet cable.
Hell yeah. It lets me run my Windows games on Mac, Linux, and Chrome OS.
Right! What do you know about wine?
It's like a master key. It opens doors.
I know it's free. It lets you run Windows software without licensing on other platforms. Yes! Stick it to the...
If the technology crossover is built around that lets Windows software run like it's using native OS functionality cross-platform, it's fast.
Did anyone ask your age when you came in here?
It's what makes that dinner party worth going to. But always ask in advance.
What makes crossover better than other options, like emulators?
Crossover doesn't have the added overhead of having Windows running in the background, and it provides a consistent user experience.
To demonstrate how it is better, I will now emulate my daughter's favorite singer twerking.
No demos. No demos.
It's all about speed, man. My games have to run at full speed. Just like my pickup lines at bar closing.
Let me put it this way. Would you like a virtual cookie?
Oh, yeah, I'll take the real one.
I don't have patience for emulators. But I suppose you're used to moving slowly here in America and probably don't know the difference.
Why would so...
Everyone should be able to use crossover for free. Give me a free license right now! Right!
Okay, so things are a little corny. A lot corny. I didn't really get nothing from it. I was doing something. Sorry guys if I bored y'all with that. Yeah, that was really corny. But it was interesting. I was looking for them to tell me how the crossover works with Cakewalk on the Mac. But from what I got from that is something I don't really want to do. But like, don't tell me I have to put Windows on my computer in order to... I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I thought it was like a piece of software that you just run in the background, and then you can get... That's what I was thinking. Install the Cakewalk Commander Center. See, they even let you download this thing called Cakewalk Command Center. There's a Mac version for it that you can't click on, but it's definitely it's a link. So it's like it's having me think, you know, it might be hey man, you know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking. Okay, check this out. Now this is where things are going to get. So I clicked on this link. So I'm clicking on like what's coming up next. Okay. Well, let me get out of that. This guy right here, I follow him. Tetro. He's an Ableton Live person. He does a lot of lo-fi. That's kind of like his field. But he uses a Mac. And so when you got his pitch on here, I'm like, okay. So what's happening here? And that's clearly a Mac that he's using right there. So I'm curious. I'm really curious. Now this I can't verify. That look like that's a PC. So that look like a PC. Yeah, this is a PC, man. Cause right now it's at the current version, like before they change everything. I'm looking at I think I saw somewhere on here where it says it only gave Windows specs. Yeah, right here, the Windows specs. So I don't know. Interesting, but man, if we could take a look at that. I'm trying to zoom in. I forgot how to do that. There we go. There we go. Just gonna peek in on his screen real quick. Got the piano roll, the step sequence down here. Got what we used to. I saw some pitch correction in here. Let's see, is there any more pictures? So look at this. This look like their stock stuff, bro. Look at those drums. Look at that. Look at that. And like what is this over here? Dude, that look like stock stuff. This is what they giving you. Look like it comes with Melodyne. They got the ARA support. The vocal sync alignment. I wonder if that's included or if it's like you gotta buy. But them showing it on their deals like all that's included. This is kind of the stuff I'm getting excited about. Download Mac. See why you have that, but that's for the next joint. Cakewalk next. Cakewalk Sonar. Man, that sucks, man. So they only got that the next joint for Mac. You see, this is more simple. This is what I have on my system. This is more simplistic. I'm not looking for a sample. I'm looking for a good DAW that can do what I need it to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. You said that's too much overhead on the CPU. See, that's why I don't want to. See, it's almost like you have to share. You have to share half your CPU, half your resources with. Nah, I don't know, man. I'll have to buy another Mac, like something I can dedicate towards running, or just buy Windows. Just buy Windows. It's much cheaper. I'm more of a desktop guy still, but I just get a whole separate laptop just to knock out emulation. Like 1200 Windows laptop will definitely have the CPU power. Yeah, I don't want to spend no $1,200 on no PC. I think for me, if I'm gonna do that, I would rather just buy another Mac and dedicate that to, like, just because I'm a Mac person. I have nothing but Macs around my space. I have a Mac to do my work on. I have a Mac Mini to stream specifically. I have a MacBook Pro when I'm traveling. My iPad for, like, loose ends. And then the iPhone for my communication. You know what I'm saying? Everything is Apple around me. The Apple Watch, AirPros sync between everything seamlessly. So if I get another Mac dedicated towards that, just make that run Cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? And then be able to switch back to the Mac side for Mac stuff that I needed to, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe not dedicated, but dedicate that Mac for Cakewalk to run on. And I could probably turn into my video editing computer, you know what I'm saying? Instead of getting a PC. Because I'm not a PC person. But PCs are cheaper, you know? I don't know, something to think about. There's a lot to think about. Is it worth it though? You know? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. When they, because supposedly this is something that they're doing next. Because as you can see on their site, it says coming soon. So I'll wait to see them roll out the full version and see what they really doing. And because of that, I feel like YouTube gonna be flooded with videos, bro. YouTube, and that's what's gonna put Sonar on the map again because of this new change. And you're gonna start seeing a bunch of people talk about it, and then a lot of people are gonna start to download it and get access to it. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll definitely see. Something worth looking into, seeing what happens. That's all I got for you guys. That's all. That's it. Yeah, that's plenty of software. I'm trying to remember the one that I had. But I think that's what Code Weaver is doing. Code Weaver is from what I got, I think that is what you can download on your system to have it to switch over to a PC on your Mac. I think that's what that is. That is my assumption. But I'm trying to remember what I had. It was called Parallel. That's what it was. Mac Parallel for Mac, or Mac Parallel. Software I had bought back in the day. And a series of buttons you press when your computer boots. You get this. Actually, mine's didn't. You just run the software, like activate it, launch it, and it allowed you to just flip over to the Mac. I mean, PC side. I was doing this class for what was it? Coding, CCS. What was it? CC? I forgot the name of the class, but basically it was just networking. So networking class I was taking at that time, and I needed a PC to practice at home, and do my test or whatever. I wasn't gonna buy no PC, so I just bought a program that allowed me to switch my Mac into a PC, and that's how I was able to get through the class. I think I paid like $100 for it, so it's like, bet I'll just pay $100 just to be able to switch my Mac over. It was called Parallel. I think this one is Code Weavers. I think that's the same thing. You able to do the same thing. So I'm guessing. I'm gonna do a little more research. I'm gonna dive into some of these videos or forums, or I don't know. I'll figure it out. Cubase used to be Sonar's biggest competitor. Then it was like Personas was, as Cakewalk fell out. That makes sense. That's good to know. Cubase used to be Sonar's biggest competitor. So a lot of what they do was influence, probably, which is huge. Because Cubase is no slouch. So with that being said, their platform is beefed up in a way like that. That's dope. Which is, I think that's what I saw. I saw that competition. You know what I'm saying? When we was looking at those pictures, I was like, man, dang, bruh. Like I saw it. I saw the aggressiveness in the software, and I'm like, that is what I need. Like something like that. I need advanced stuff like that. I saw Logic in there. I didn't see Ableton yet, but I'm pretty sure one guy said it was. But I saw Logic in there. I did see Cubase in it. I saw maybe FL. The other guy explained it that was what it was. I saw that just in that picture. I'm looking like, okay, this thing is a beast. That's what I need. That's what I need. That's the type of stuff I want to be able to dive in. I respect Studio One and its simplicity and what it does. But I need a challenge. Cubase 13. I had Cubase at one point. I just couldn't get with it. It was like, and I think it was more so like, I don't want to dedicate my time getting into this because I don't know. It was like still some stuff about it. I was excited when I had it. And I was like, I'm good. But I did try. I gave it a try. I don't know. Cubase just felt like I did get Studio One vibes from it, but it was like this feels backwards a little bit. But 12 is definitely different from what I was using, so I can't really. To tell y'all the truth, I do watch those videos. I watch. I am subscribed to Steinberg channel. I'm subscribed to everybody. I watch FL folk, people in FL, people in Reason, people. I watch people from all over, all dogs. I just keep my eye open to what's going on and new stuff, and in terms of that. So I am aware. I think I seen the video on Cubase 13. It didn't strike me, but I was like, man, this is cool stuff they be able to do. The only one I haven't been following was Cakewalk. So now I got to go watch a bunch of videos, which I'm about to do right now. So with that being said, oh, okay. Ableton, yeah, because it has those clip launchers. Honestly, Cakewalk Dog, Project 5 had that up early and they dropped that dog. Okay, wow. So obviously a lot of things that happened over the years. But who knows? Who knows? This channel is always growing. We'll see what happens. When that come out, I'll keep y'all updated on what's going on. Y'all do the same. I have fun talking with you guys. Fender, I don't know. I don't know what I just don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys tuning in with me, chopping it up. Appreciate all of the likes, all the new subscribers. Appreciate you guys. We shall continue this conversation later. Next stream, we'll be making a beat, more likely. All right. Y'all stay safe out here. Be culture. Lifestyle governed by art.